Hello, welcome to Bangladesh Weekly Roundup. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, brothers and sisters, I am Sakib Ali, your host for this program on 19th March 2023. In this program, we talk about the weekly events of the preceding week in Bangladesh and try to give an idea anyone interested to learn it about Bangladesh in English. We think that the events of the past week, when we discuss this, as you will see, that it in a way shows us an unraveling of a kingdom based on vice and sin. It is as if like a top-down crime syndicate unraveling. Let us talk from the bottom up. The story which is the talk of the town for last 2-3 days is an Arab jewelers in Dubai, where the proprietor of that jewelry, Mr. Arab Khan, has been found to be actually Mr. Rabiul Islam, who had killed a police officer 4 years back in Banani, in the area that I live, in one of these areas, in flats, in this area somewhere close by, I guess. And then he was arrested, but got a bail after 3 days. And then he fled to in India. From India, he got some papers, and then he went to Dubai. His business was running honey traps for people of means, and then to blackmail them. And he tried to do the same thing with this police officer, and when he failed, he killed him. Now, the thing is that there was a lot of rumor that this man, after killing a police officer, could go to get a bail and get out. He was connected to a retired police officer. I was in a program where one of our leading intellectual, public intellectual, was saying that he cannot even utter the name of this police officer. And then we got a Facebook post from Mr. Benazir Ahmed, retired IG. He says that he is not in any way associated with this man. We don't know. Now, this man is supposedly doing the same thing in Dubai. And this also reminds me that there was this lady who was a leader of Awami League who used to run a prostitution ring in one of the top hotels in Bangladesh, and then she got caught. So this is what I'm talking about the sin and the vice that is permeating at the bottom. When this is happening, at the same time, this film actress, Mahia Mahi, she gets arrested by the police. And she alleges that the police commissioner of Ghazipur district, which is the commercial district beside Dhaka, most important industrial township, the police commissioner, he allegedly took a bribe of $150,000 and had lodged cases against her. She was taken to the jail in the noon, By afternoon, because she's also a leader of a member of Awami League, and her husband is a very leader of Awami League, so she got up by bail. I'm not against her getting bail, but it reminds me of a younger brother of the same cadet college, Mushtaq. He didn't get any bail. He suffered in the same act, Digital Security Act, and then he died, which we will never forget. So this is the state of law. Now talk about state of law. So I have talked about police commissioners and all that. And then these lawyers of this actress, they said they forgot to ask the judge for bail in the noon. So they get the chance to ask for bail in the afternoon also. And others don't. It is in this week that in Supreme Court Bar Association, Awami League lawyers were fighting the BNP lawyers. And can you see that all the lawyers are divided into parties? And they had physical altercation. They brought in police. With the police, they beat up the lawyers, kicked them out, and they rigged the election of the Supreme Court Bar Association. This has never happened in the history of Bangladesh. In the history of, for last many years, the Supreme Court Chief Justices have been harassed, insulted, in certain cases even manhandled allegedly at the highest level. But now we see all the lawyers are fighting, and the opposition supporting lawyers are kicked out. So this is the state of the lawyers of our highest court. So police, and this is law. In the meantime, Bangladesh's foreign exchange reserve has dwindled to $19 billion if we calculate it according to IMF, which is the realistic picture. And the things are getting more precarious, I think, day by day. In the meantime, Rajuk has come out with a foreign funded study. According to this study, just north of us, we have this Madhupur fault line. If this in Madhupur fault line, a 6.9 Richter scale earthquake, if that happens, then, which is the chance is not too low actually, it is quite risky. People say that there could be one. The death would be, if it happened during daytime, it would be 210,000 people. Wounded would be 230,000 people. Buildings under risk, 900,000. Loss estimated $44 billion US. And what is Rajuk doing? What is our government doing? Wasn't it their job to supervise this? And this is what they have supervised, because they have taken bribes from everybody. Who will be responsible? In the meantime, the West Bengal government has declared that it is going to dig 2 canals in the Tista barrage, and from there they're going to divert water to Jalpaiguri district and Kuch Behar district. They have also announced that in Darjeeling Hills they will set up 3 hydroelectric plants. Of that, from because of two, there will be diversion of water from Tista barrage. In 1985, we used to get 6,700 cubic of water. Now we get, in dry season, 1,200 to 1,500. I mean, this 6,700 we used to get in the 10 last days of March in 1985, when the barrage, the Tista barrage, the Gajol-Doba barrage has not been yet built. But because of this barrage, now we get, in the dry season, 1,200 to 1,500 cubic. That is what? 1/5. 20 million people of Bangladesh have been deprived of the water they need for their agriculture. And Bangladesh government has made has not taken any strong position regarding this. Not even a documentary making what is going on. The government, I think, also wants to hide this. Because to them, the support of Indian government for this government's authoritarian rule, autocratic rule, that is more important to them. As long as the 20 million people voted them once, they don't need to vote again. This government will continue to rig elections through eternity. At least that's the idea, that's the plan. In the meantime, this happens, but we are not going to discuss what can we say. All this is happening because of one person, as far as I'm concerned. It's actually, not only I am concerned, people know. It is only one person has the power in this country. And that is our Prime Minister, Sheikh Hasina. So, regarding Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, certain things happened. 3 things happened during this week. She went to Qatar and she gave an interview with Al Jazeera. During this week, there was an open letter in Washington Post by 40 leading citizens of the world asking Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina not to harass our only Nobel laureate, Professor Yunus, and our Prime Minister, after coming back to Bangladesh, had given a press conference too. I want to say a few words for each events. I saw that interview in Al Jazeera. I think the journalist, the interviewer, being a British man, did an excellent job. And he actually clarified, or because of his question, our Prime Minister clarified her position regarding Bangladesh's political future. And she had said that she will make no change, she will make no compromise. Others don't deserve any real shot at power, I guess. And that she will hold the election just as she had done in 2014 and 2018. Whenever she was asked, I was very hurt that she was asked whether she was an autocratic leader or not. And she was taken aback Now people can ask her in her face, on her face, whether she's an autocratic leader. And she couldn't give any convincing answers that she is not. Whataboutism, whataboutism, who are they, who are they? That is not an answer. That answer is not going to satisfy anyone. Worth persuasion. I think her desperation came out in the press conference and again in the interview, that she has no answer to the criticisms being made against her regarding the caretaker government. Why did she take caretaker government out? She has no answer. Actually, a few years back, she had said, I remember she had, and this was reported in Bangladesh newspaper, she had said in her those moments when she is absolutely frank and honest, that she thought that she needed 10 years to stay in power, to show development, so that she will be re-elected by the people. So she took out the caretaker provision so that in 2014 she could rig it, so that in 2018, by 2018, she will be re-elected with proper mandate. At least that's what she meant. She said that so that 10 years we need to do the development. But she doesn't understand what development is. The people around her don't understand what development is. And we are seeing that. We are talking about the kingdom of sin, vice. Sheikh Hasina's the letter, regarding the letter in Washington Post, the open letter, I think there has been quite a bit of confusion. Some people said, why is there? It's an advertisement. Sheikh Hasina in her press conferences, this is an advertisement. I have heard journalists say that why wasn't news made first? For their benefit, I would like to explain that I think that as far as in America it is concerned, when people want to make a statement, they take out an ad in New York Times or Washington Post when they are trying to draw the attention of the federal government of the United States. There is no other way where 40 people's signature could be described and that their statement could be put up for the people of the United States. And once that happens, then news is developed from that. I think the 40 citizens, the leading citizens, including Hillary Clinton, Vice President Al Gore, and all others, this has rattled our Prime Minister. It is in a way that they are singling out, in a way that they are singling out the Prime Minister for harassment and for creating all sorts of legal problems for Professor Yunus in Bangladesh. Now, Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina in her press conference was saying that, what did she do? She did nothing. It was the labor court which took the decision to bar Professor Yunus from the post of managing director of Grameen Bank. But we know that in this country, all the power resides in one person. We know that if you are close to Sheikh Hasina, nothing will happen to you. And if you are somebody who Sheikh Hasina thinks that that person is the enemy of her, she can do anything. I mean, she has all the court, she has the police, everybody works for her. We do not have any rule of law. We have rule of Sheikh Hasina. So this is one of her way of combating that when things get hot, then she starts to say, what about them? She says in 1975, brings out that terrible night's terrible tragedy up to get sympathy for her actions, which actually do not merit any sympathy. Yes, she deserves all the sympathy for the tragic events of 75, but she doesn't deserve sympathy for the actions she is doing here. And so this is her situation. As this unraveling is taking place, and I do think that at the end of March, in the Democracy Summit, that we will see what America does, whether America backs up its words by action, and by that I mean whether the voting right, the franchise will be restored to the people of Bangladesh or not. Just in this week, ICC, the International Criminal Court in Hague, has issued an arrest warrant for Vladimir Putin. Next week, according to Mr. Donald Trump, he is supposedly going to be arrested on Tuesday. If not Tuesday, maybe sometime next week. Because there will be a criminal indictment for his alleged payment of $130,000 hush money to Stormy Daniels. I don't want to explain that thing, but what I'm trying to say is that this is not a good time. I'm not saying that Vladimir Putin is going to be arrested, but this creates problems for him, at least if he visits one of the countries, one of the 121 countries which are members of ICC, then those countries will have to take some action in order to satisfy that warrant. So in that way, Mr. Putin's active freedom will be a bit affected. So I'm saying that this is the time when the authoritarian, autocratic leaders are not doing that well. So, everybody is getting desperate. And in that desperation, even in Dhaka, there was this committee of civil rights, so-called, that got me an invitation and got me invited to a program in a 5-star hotel. And I did not know who will be there, or maybe I was a bit naive, and I was invited by a leader of the opposition, BNP. At least through him I got the card. So, I didn't think it was anything against the interest of the people of Bangladesh. But when I went there, in this 5-star hotel, so much money has been spent. And for what? For raising a proposal for national government. There was no discussion, there is no transparency, and I thought it was, and finally today I came to know that there was 18 lakh taka, which is 180,000, sorry, 18 lakh, that is 1.8 million taka has been spent for this. There was hardly anybody. I went there for 20 minutes and left quickly because this was not a place where people were talking about politics, or everything was hush-hush, and there was a conspiratorial tone. I mean, why would people spend this kind of money? For what? We don't have money. Political parties are always hard-pressed for money. So, that shows that probably the some uh, intelligence agencies had provided that money or somewhere, because I'm just saying, I'm guessing, but it is an, I think, guess from experience, that these are the tools of trade for them. I'm not taking anything. I'm just saying that that's how it is. So with that, I hope, I'm just saying that things are going in the right direction, inshallah. But hopefully, we will, inshallah, reach our desired land. But in the meantime, there will be more and more, I think, some more turbulence. Today, just there was this accident, and 19 people had died, and I couldn't talk about this. And my deep condolences for the deceased. With that, I bid you goodbye, and God bless you. Thank you.